All right, seniors, here is your breakdown and instructions for week 32 on taxes. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is one of the last weeks of proper macro and microeconomics. The last couple weeks before finals, we're just going to be doing tasks. I'm going to give you guys a lot of multi-step, multi-day tasks to work on personal finance situations. So taxes, let's get into it. All right. Please note two notes, guys. First being that the instructional video, which is this one, should be watched first. Second is that I'm now doing a daily, like 3 to 6 minute video each weekday, simply just kind of giving you guys updates on information going on in the U.S. and the world, giving some recommendations. Basically just kind of filling in a little bit of the I'm not seeing you guys every day situation. And then you have 4 things to do this week. Lecture notes on taxes. There's only one, but it's a long one. It's 30 slides. You then have a guided activity with a video produced not by me, but by a tax person. So it walks you guys through step by step. Then you'll have an independent activity where you guys are going to do some tax filings based on real life job incomes. This is a modified version of what we were going to do, where I was going to walk you guys step by step through several variations of how to do taxes. Instead, you're going to have to do it a little bit on your own. So there's going to be a lot of stuff involved in this. Please remember, guys, I have office hours from 9 to 10 on Google Meets. The information is in Classroom. Just look for the one tagged announcements, and I will bump that to the top every Thursday just to remind you guys that that's going on. All right, so looking at your digital answer sheets, please remember you all get a copy of this, and this is where I want you to put the information. You've got the lecture notes paid for taxes. You've already been doing this. You know how this works. Now, the guided activity. Okay, you're going to follow along with the video, and you're going to fill in the information from the guide example into the correctly labeled boxes below. Now, I did include a PDF copy of an actual 1040 2019 tax returns. This is what people like myself, were actually filling out. Now, mine obviously is a lot longer than this because I don't file the basic one. I file the more complex one, but this is the heart of it. So you guys are going to, based on the video that you follow here, you're going to do the simplest version of a tax return, which is single income payer, no dependents, meaning no family members that you take care of financially, and you're doing standard deduction, meaning that you're not doing anything fancy with your taxes. You're just taking literally the most basic version. So instead of filling it in here and all that and trying to copy and paste, it's screenshot it, you're just going to put the answers here. Now, this is just here so you guys can see it more clearly. You don't actually have to have this open. The video will go along as it goes, and it will show you the information in the box. Now, please note here, there's a note, guys. Many numbers are repeated. This is not a mistake. This is simply a small window into one of the many reasons why people don't like taxes in America. So you will notice that even a simple form like this that's not even 2 pages long is going to have a lot of redundancy and a lot of weird, complex Byzantine aspects to it. Okay, I'm showing you this on purpose. Now, once you've done the guided activity, here's the more complex one. Because we can't go over several scenarios together effectively. Instead, you guys are going to do tax filings in 3 different income categories. You're still going to do, so please note here, guys, you're going to do the same actions in filing taxes. You're just going to use different income, meaning the form's going to be the same. You're going to assume single taxpayer, no dependent, standard deduction each time. I don't want to give you guys anything more complex to do without me there to actually run you through it. You're going to choose 3 jobs, and I want you to choose real jobs. I provided a link here that takes you to a website where you can look up the jobs by title. So find one job that would be an example of a non-skilled low wage, meaning what most people do out of high school or what the high school dropouts are going to do till they're 75. Then you're going to find an average American wage. What do most high school graduate, community college people, what do they earn? Lower end 4-year degrees, what do they earn? The average American wage is anywhere from $40,000 to $65,000 a year. Find one of those jobs, put the title in here, and then start doing the math. Now, you're going to put, again, you guys can use the earlier video to help you with this, but you're going to put the basic information, and you're simply going to follow along as they present. Now, one thing is that you'll notice I've included here the 1040 instruction booklet and the 2019 tax table. Now, the instruction booklet you do not need to use. I just included it so that you guys can see exactly what this looks like. For instance, this is over 100 pages. You don't have to actually use it for any assignments. I included it because I wanted you guys to actually take a look at it. Just speed read, just look and see how complex taxes are. So you can see that this is something that you really do have to learn. And unfortunately, there's really no way to learn how to do taxes without just sitting down and going line by line and learning how to do it. There's a lot of programs that can help, and there's a lot of free stuff you can find online to help. But unfortunately, practice and experience are the necessity. Now, the one that will help you is this one right here, the tax table. And you'll notice that I included in the title, use pages 3 to 14 for activity number 3. Well, this is activity number 3. When you're putting in this information, and this will be based on the lecture, this should sound familiar, however much money you make is going to affect how much money you owed in taxes. Now, the amount of money you owed in taxes, guys, has to do with, excuse me, a percentage. So this table gives you the correct percentage numbers. Okay, this is the progressive tax situation that the lecture and lecture notes talk about. So you'll notice there's a lot of pages here. You're going to need to find the correct level. So for instance, let's look here. We have 55,200 to 55,250. Yes, it's that much. It's a $50 window, and that tells us that a single person should owe, thank you, Kat, stepping on my keyboard, should owe $8,008 is what they should have paid in their taxes. So you have that information right there. And you'll fill in the rest. Now, you'll either fill in box 20 or box 23 dependent on whether you owe money based on the standard deduction or not. And you guys are going to find that the lower your income, the more likely it is you had a refund or a high refund, whereas at the higher income, you're going to find that you may actually end up owing money. And this is very much on purpose because I want you guys to see how the numbers compare and find that even if you owe more money, you know, from say having a higher skill salary job, 70 to 99K, you still end up taking home more money, even if you pay more in taxes. Because I want you guys to actually see this based on real documentation, not just take my word for it. Now, don't choose a job over $99,999 because anything $100,000 over uses a more complex table. And there's a lot of extra math that I'm not here to teach you guys. And besides which, less than 1 in 10 Americans make that much money anyway. You'll see I've even provided the number. Okay, so please note, guys, the only change is that high incomes, you may owe money. Just check whether the larger number is box 16 or 19 and then fill in either box 20 or 23. And the instructions for that, guys, you will find them right here. When you look at line 16 and you look at line 19, you compare them. If 19 is more than 16, you're getting a refund. On the other hand, if 16 is higher than 19, you still owe money. Okay, and that'll determine whether you fill in box 20 or 23. All right, and lastly, as just a wrap-up review, you guys have a crash course video on taxes. So it's going to cover some of the stuff from the lecture. It's also going to cover some minutia that I ignored. It's going to provide you guys a different perspective on it. So that way you have, several different perspectives to consider. Again, guys, to remind you, if you find that you have any questions about any of this work, I am on from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Thursday and Friday on Google Hangouts or Google Meets. You'll find the announcement right here where it says announcement office hours. This thing is a recurring room that opens up. You don't have to have a camera. You can use your phone to get in, and you can just use voice only. For instance, I have a mic but no webcam, so I show up as voice only because I'm going to be projecting my screen anyway, since when you guys ask questions, I want to be able to show you what I want you to do instead of just staring at my face. All right, guys, remember to email me if you have any other questions, and I will see you later.